Welcome to another episode of Sports Wrap with me, Agatha,
And me, Naveen.
where we give you anything about sports in and around town and outside as well. Luckily, we have a lot of sports news to cover and we'll be here to keep you up to date. First things first, Naveen, let's start with our sports headlines for the week. We have EJ Obiena, who qualified for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in pole vaulting. And in tennis, we have Alex Ayala, who is the first Filipina since 1991 to reach a Grand Slam in the US Open Juniors. And in boxing, we have Mark Magsayo, who won the WBC Asia featherweight title against Thai boxer Panya Utok.
Congratulations to our Filipino athletes who are accomplishing things that they have worked hard for and, will be centering in on their journey to Tokyo for the Olympics, where they'll be wearing the name of our country loud and proud.
For sure. And we have a lot more to qualify, I'm pretty sure, and we'll be here to wait for them. And in other news, let's talk about the Gilas Filipinas in the FIBA World Cup. I understand that they played against the creme de la creme of the basketball world.
That's right.
Group D is no joke. I mean, they're hard to beat. But let's talk about their performance. Talk us through what happened. What do you think
Went wrong?
went wrong?
Well, Italy and Serbia beat the Philippines by a margin that I'm sure Gilas will never ever want to remember. I think what was most apparent was the level of competition was so big, the difference. Serbia and Italy plays the modern style of international basketball, and the Philippines, for as beautiful as the Pinoy style of play is, it doesn't exactly translate to success in the international stage. Hopefully, when Gilas competes again in future tournaments, that includes the Olympics or the World Cup, we will have a team that has a skill set that's similar to what Serbia and Italy showed, which is ball movement, defense, versatility.
So I understand from the previous lineup, if you compare it, they cut out a lot of big men
Right.
and preferred combo guards instead. Do you think that played an important role in their performance?
I think one of the reasons why they didn't really go for depth at the big man position was because they were expecting to rely on Andre Blach, the natural player of Gilas Filipinas. Unfortunately, Andre didn't really play up to standard in the tournament. He looked a little bit out of shape and he looked slow for some possessions. And when you look at the head coach of Gilas, Yang Giao, combo guards who are able to score and pass, that's what he likes, which is why we had a lot of guards in the team. Unfortunately, and this has been a problem for so many years, when it came to comparing the height of the other teams to the Philippine team, we were frequently at a disadvantage. Even against Angola, who we had the best shot of beating, in overtime they used their height and their physicality to their advantage, and because of that, Philippines went 0-3.
Yes, and I was looking for Japet Aguilar in the lineup and I couldn't find him. He looked like a regular guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the height differences
Correct.
made a difference there. Speaking of new additions, let's talk about the rookies. CJ Perez, he did such a good job. How would you rate their performances, actually, all of the rookies?
Well, we always knew CJ had the talent to play at this level. What we wanted to know the answer to was, could he play within the system, especially when the game got close? And against Angola, he proved that he can. Same with Robert Bolek, and even if Kiefer Ravena missed the game-tying shot that could have sent the game to another overtime, he's always been able to play internationally. So even if the result was not so good, I think that the future of Gilas is in good hands.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. And let's not forget to end this on a hopeful note, knowing that Gilas can still qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics if they are the best team in Asia. And so that's something to look forward to, and hopefully we'll be seeing them there.
Hopefully. And the road to 2020 is closer than we think.
And now moving on to UAAP, my favorite part.
I'm sure it
I can't
is.
hide it, sorry. Let's talk about it by game. Starting from the first one, UE versus UST.
Right.
How was it for you?
Before the season, I had UST as my dark horse contender to make the Final Four, and I feel much better about it now after watching the way they played yesterday. Aldenay is a successful coach. He has led Letran to a championship in the NCAA, and in his first year with LaSalle, they won the championship too. And this season, more than last, you can see that UST is really starting to play according to how Coach Alden wants them to play. You still have a veteran there like Renzo Subido to slow things down, but you also have young talent like Renza Bando and CJ Cancino to explode and score and go off and lead UST to the win. Caveat, they faced UE, which has been at the bottom of the standings the past few years, but it's a good start for the Tigers.
Yeah, I agree. The rookies are so impressive. But now moving on to UE, with a little bit of, let's not call it drama, but something interesting on their side. They have a new coach. How do you think that played out for them?
Well, officially, Bong Tan is supposed to be the coach, but we all know it's Lawrence Chongson. I think that Coach Joe Silva wasn't given the chance to show how good of a coach he can be, but that's a conversation for another day. As far as the team goes, UE has improved. Their new player, Ray Suerte, was a treat to watch. He's very talented. Philip Manalang is still a steady point guard, and they have a new foreign recruit who is going to man the paint. I'm not sure UE still has what it takes to make the Final Four this year, but I think they'll be more entertaining to watch compared to the past few years.
Yes, I agree. And now moving on to UP Fight versus FEU. That game was so exciting to watch. My bias aside, just saying, the highlight reels were intense. So, what do you say about that game?
Richie Rivero's dunk was the one that grabbed the headlines, but against FEU, the Maroon who really stood out to me was Javi Gomez Deliano. Some trivia for you guys. When Javi was first recruited to the seniors team, the expectation was he'd be in Team B. But because of his work ethic, he got to be in the UAP right away. And in the years since, he's improved every year. And he mentioned that he lost weight this past off-season, and the result from that showed against the Tamaraws. They could not stop him. He was hitting jump shots. He was attacking the rim fearlessly. He was going to the free throw line. If this is what we see from Javi moving forward, it's good and bad for UP. Good because obviously he's talented, and bad because there's another guy you have to give the ball to. And you know what? Kobe didn't even play yet yesterday. So how is Coach Bo going to properly arrange that?
Yes. And that's something that they have to look into, being able to share the ball around those talented players. And you don't want to leave anyone out, considering the amount of talent that they individually have.
And I'm sure you, from all people, know how nerve-wracking it is when UP has a big lead and then they lose it and then they pull out in the end. But Coach Bo is right. The players have to keep their emotions in check. They have to stay focused on the ultimate goal and not get distracted by the little games that go on in the game, because teams like FEU will take advantage of that.
And of course, Coach Bo has a lot of things to be happy about, except for their shorts, apparently.
Yeah, it's 2019, guys. Come on.
I know. And to quote Coach Bo saying, parang swim trunks. Swim trunks. But to be fair, they only apparently got their uniforms the night before, and we're not able to adjust it. But in the coming games, we will be expecting longer shorts, apparently, so that Coach Bo can be happy and the players can focus more, I guess.
Yeah. Will UP stay wearing short shorts? Stay tuned.
Yes. And now moving on to Ateneo versus Adamson. Two great teams, but of course, Ateneo was showing that there's still a force to be reckoned with. What can you say about that game?
Before the UAP started, Ateneo was so good that they were defeating PBA teams in tune-up games. And if that didn't give UAP teams reason to be scared enough, their performance yesterday should do the trick. Adamson is a very good team, led by a very good coach, led by a very good player, and Ateneo was in control from start to finish. Ateneo is the standard of college basketball right now. They still have their veterans there for one more go, aiming for a three-peat, and their big man, Ange Kwame, looks like he even got better, which is a scary thought. I'm not saying Ateneo is invincible, because no team in college basketball is ever invincible, but to beat the Blue Eagles will require a perfect game from their opponents, and there are very few who could do that.
I mean, it's really the discipline plus Ange Kwame, who just keeps getting better and better, which is both scary and impressive.
I'm definitely excited to see how the Blue Eagles do against the Green Archers. And you know what? I know it's still going to be at the end of the first round, but Ateneo UP, I really wish it was here already.
And this is one of those times where UAAP gets just even more exciting. But besides UAAP, we also have a lot of things to look forward to. And if you sports fans think that you have a lot on your plate right now, well, wait till the next coming weeks, because there will be more exciting things in store, and we'll be here to tell you all about them. Of course, we have the SEA Games coming up, and we also have to keep an eye out for the qualifiers for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more of them.
There's a lot of sports coming up for the Philippines, a lot of reasons to be excited, a lot of entertainment, and we'll be tackling all of that here on Sports Wrap.
And that's a wrap.
Fair.
I get to say that. UP won.